Welcome, omnivores, to episode 18 of the Q podcast. Don't look at me like that, Christian.
What if they're vegan?
Oh, dude, they're not allowed. They can't listen. A podcast where a gathering of friends weigh in on geek passion topics. Today is August 16th, 2015, and my name is Ben freeBrunch Thomas. Joining me today is Patrick Figfire, a.k.a. the People's Champion Figueroa.
What's going on, everybody?
We also got Christian C. Monkey Elriaga.
Hey, yo.
I didn't think of anything to talk about after the intro today.
Then let's jump into last week in gaming, movies, and TV.
Damn. It's
All
gone.
right, so the biggest thing that I did was played Bastion.
Woo.
What really got me into Bastion was I found the Transistor soundtrack on Spotify, and I talked about Transistor a couple weeks ago, and I loved that game, from the art style to the soundtrack to the gameplay. And finding the soundtrack, I clicked the artist, and I found the Bastion soundtrack. I gave that a listen to, and I was like,
Is that on Spotify too?
"Yeah, it is.
Wow,
It's great." I was like, "Okay, you know what? I paid $3 for Bastion. I'm just gonna go ahead and play it." And I beat it in a week.
How long do you think?
Probably 6 to 8 hours.
Okay.
It's great though. It's not as complex as Transistor. In terms of the gameplay, because it's just more like Transistor is it reminds me of, from what I've seen, the VAT system in what's it called, Fallout. Like you can pause the game and plan your attack and then execute. Bastion
Yep.
is just a straight hack and slash.
Yep.
But I don't know, this the visual appeal, the music, God, the music, and
beautiful.
the narration.
Which is
Dude.
better?
The kid.
The kid. Oh, the narrator. Oh gosh.
Is the Bastion music similar to the Transistor music?
It is. It is.
It's a little more folksy, though.
Yeah, it's more folksy because Transistor's all futuristic and Bastion's kind of like Western, but
But, I mean, both games are just absolutely...
yeah.
Beautiful.
God, I love those games so much, man. And there's this one scene. Oh god, dude, all the feels, man. I surprisingly got struck by the feels in both games. I didn't see them coming, but
Yeah, the ending of Transistor, I didn't know whether to be sad or happy.
It sounds
Yeah,
cool because they sound like games that have amazing stories, but also at least some kind of niche or unique gameplay mechanic. I don't know. I feel like all the story games I play nowadays, you don't kind of reference a hack and slash style, or I've heard of Transistor's combat, which is supposed to be super unique.
yes,
I like
it
that they
is.
mix it up.
No, it was great. And then other than that, I read some comic books this week. I read Batman.
That's not like you.
Yeah, Batman, Superman Volume 2. It's just another great story that outlines and focuses on the relationship between Batman and Superman. What's really cool about these books is that they're set in the New 52, which was the DC comic soft reboot. So we're talking about a fairly fresh relationship between Bruce and Clark. And the adventures they get themselves into often cross dimensions to a dimension where they're longtime friends. And everyone keeps questioning why they hate each other so much in the New 52 versions of Bruce and Clark, when the versions in the alternate universes are dude, you guys are supposed to be best freaking friends. And I don't know, there's a lot of cool interactions, and
Now that you brought that up, though, is the death of Superman anywhere on your read list? Or...
it kind of is. My Superman read list is not as big as my other read list.
It blows my mind that a DC comic fan who reads lots of comic books can't get I imagine there's so many stories that you can't even get a handle on all of them.
Yeah,
That's
no,
crazy.
and it's true. And what I'd like to preface that with, New 52 hasn't been too kind to Superman. His books haven't really, at least not the first part of it. I think his books are picking up now, but his books were never that well acclaimed or reviewed. So, like Christian said, I'd have to look back into pre-New 52, Death of Superman, All-Star Superman, Red Sun, which is something I haven't really done yet. I'm slowly chugging my way through the New 52 before I start backpedaling into the older stuff.
So let's say I watched the Batman vs Superman movie, and I'm damn, Superman is the best. I want to read every Superman comic from the last 10 years. How much money would that cost me?
Oh, dude, I can't answer that. There's a lot of his quintessentials are Red Sun, All Star Superman, Death of Superman, maybe Kingdom Come.
So to get all the material in those, are we talking upwards like
Say
of $100? 40 to 50? Okay.
Well, maybe 60.
Okay.
I don't know how far. I think the Death of Superman is a big book, so that one would be the bank buster. But those other ones are just graphic novels that have immortalized Superman pretty well.
Okay.
But
So there's no like iconic omnibus for.
no, dude, I'm so confused with how the omnibuses, omnibeast, omnibuy.
Omnibeast. Nailed it.
Yeah, I don't really know how those work because like there's omnibuses for events and then there's omnibuses for like characters. So it's the whole comic thing is just not well organized. I think we talked about it a couple weeks ago, and how even as someone me, I've been trying to like really start reading them for the past 3 or 4 years. I am still a little lost with the reading orders of certain things. So. But that's a shame. And then, I mean, I read this book called Swamp Thing. I mainly wanted to read it because it's set in Louisiana, and it's about a giant swamp monster who guards the... He's like the avatar of the gods for all things plants. So he's pretty cool.
The avatar of the gods. For
Is
all
this
things
like
plants.
a creature from the Black Lagoon kind of? I feel like that's the thing. That's the vibe I get.
What was
Yeah.
that internet video with the swamp guy? The guy that like sat on a old Greg. Do you guys remember
yeah.
old Greg?
Old Greg.
I'm old Greg.
And
That's
Greg
what.
too.
So this story was not about old Greg. I'm
It was
guessing.
not
Okay.
even close.
All right.
Did he have a mangina?
That was it. I couldn't remember the
Giant.
quote. I was like, what is the quote from that? That was so...
There's a lot, man. Drinking
Yeah.
Bailey's from a shoe.
Yeah.
Do you love me?
Yeah. Oh, I totally forgot all those lines.
Oh man,
That's funny. What made
and then-
you? What?
yeah, what's
so is that's not a comic book? That's an actual book.
No, that's a comic book too.
Oh, okay, okay.
He's in the DC. He's in the same universe as Batman, Superman, and all of them. He just
Oh.
kind of does his own thing.
Swamp thing.
His own swamp thing. I see.
I'm on fire right
How do
now.
I not pick these things up?
Uh,
And then I started a new anime called Psychopaths. It's kind of
pretty
like, yeah, it's pretty good. It's like Minority Report. Well, a little.
It
It
is kind of pre-crime.
yeah, it is pre-crime. They like measure your. It's called like cloudiness, your mental cloud. What is it called, Christian?
how high you are?
Something like that.
Yeah, your crime coefficient, like
Yeah.
how likely you are to commit a crime, and
Yeah.
then they place you in like a rehabilitation center, but they use people who have high crime coefficients to hunt down other people with high crime coefficients.
Is that
So essentially,
Is that
the
like
police are the
Divergent?
people who are.
Maybe.
I never
didn't
saw
watch it.
Divergent. My sister and my dad love it.
I think the premise of Divergent was more along the lines of your career path was kind of picked by the government, right?
Yeah,
Is
based
that-
on like a quality that you measure, kind of like a
Mhm.
crime coefficient. I don't know.
Yeah, there's something. I guess it's similar, but Psychopaths really focuses more on just crime and
Yeah.
preventing.
That's
Uh,
neat.
It's pretty cool. And then finally, I
Oh.
bought Final Fantasy X.
That's another good pun.
Is that your first Final Fantasy game?
Now I've played the first two.
Okay, so
the-
this is your first since they've gone through like the whole
like they made it
storytelling.
like anime-ish.
Yeah, so I think Final Fantasy VII was really the first one where they got into that whole JRPG genre of,
Yeah.
you know, you got these iconic characters and these weird
Very
mundane
large
storylines.
stories.
Is Cloud
Yeah.
in Final Fantasy X?
No.
Oh, it is lightning.
Oh, I'm sensing a theme here.
Oh wait, no, 10 is
No, it's,
10 is Titus. 10 is Titus.
Titus, yeah.
Titus and Yuna and Sin.
Titus, Yuta, and the Sin. Dude, so I am. I've got a. I don't know. It's only been day 2, but I've gone back to a world where you can't control the camera,
Yeah,
Like
Ew.
and it's kind of blowing my mind. It's like what
it
the
is. It is a little bit of an unfortunate
Did
side.
that and a turn-based combat
Mm-hmm.
is
with this
another.
in KOTOR, you're in throwback land.
I am, so that's why FF10 is not. I'm not jaunted by it because KOTOR looks hella older than this FF10 remaster.
Right.
But I'll get back to more with FF10 as I go through the week. But
Yeah,
I'm
because I
enjoying it so
think
far.
I think since you're starting this, you're probably gonna also proceed into the path where you pick up 10 too, because
Wait,
that's
wait.
actually pretty
Yeah,
big on
10-2.
storyline.
There's a Final Fantasy X too.
It
Yeah,
comes with
it's 10-2.
So it's a
Oh, does it come with it?
sequel that's not called 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the way they do it is that every time they rebrand like that, it's a completely different universe. So, 7 had Cloud, 8 was Strife, Leon, no, it's Leon. Um, yeah, it's Squall, sorry.
It's okay.
Then you have, every time they go up a number, it's a completely new universe. So, since they did a sequel to 10, it was just 10-2.
To me, yeah. I don't know the appeal of picking up an old Final Fantasy game. Is it because you like the characters? Because I feel like it can't be they're so long, right? And they're so, like, I feel like they were known as being really good values, but now we have so many games, like, when we pick up one PS2 game for Christmas, we don't need it to last, like, 100 years.
This from what I've played so far, the story has been pretty gripping. The cutscenes look phenomenal. Like I can't even imagine. My friend was telling me because two of my coworkers recommended it. They said the cutscenes look very similar to what they did on PS2, even though it's a remaster. So and that's true that like for back in the day with PS2, like an 8 megabyte what's it called memory card was the shit. Um,
Holy cow.
I know.
You remember those? I still have one.
I still have one too.
The power supply of my computer came with a floppy disk cord
Yeah.
in case I wanted to install a floppy drive.
That's interesting.
Right.
That's really funny.
Oh, yeah, Ben definitely needs to talk about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
okay.
what I will say with so far, what I've learned with KOTOR and FF10 is that story can transcend just how dated the game is itself. Because, I mean, I've been turned off by games that are being released now, and I've turned down games that were highly acclaimed from back in the day, like the first Kingdom Hearts. But FF10 and KOTOR have proven to me that just because a game is dated doesn't mean it's unplayable.
And I would
So-
say that even like they're not so convoluted that the story actually gets more room to shine because I don't know. There's so many mechanics in games now where they demand multiplayer, they demand co-op, they demand collectibles, they demand all this stuff. But when
Right.
you can just play the game, you get the story real quick.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, that's on my end. What do y'all got?
You go, Christian.
Heroes of the Storm is pretty much where I spent my week. The Persona 3 movie series on Netflix, so that was pretty interesting. But I mean, Heroes of the Storm is pretty much my take of this week, just because they have a new character coming next week, they have a new map coming next week, and my girlfriend got a decent enough internet connection where she wanted to learn how to play, so that was a really interesting experience and enlightening on how crappy I am at that game.
Nice.
That happens.
How crappy you are. Wait,
Yeah, pretty much.
your girlfriend learning how to play it made you feel like you weren't good at it?
Essentially, and I mean, it's not that like she was uber godly or anything, and she's gonna kill me when she watches this, but just playing with people against, like we toned it down to versus AI just so she could get a feel of the game, and even then in the versus AI, I realized how crappy I am because I just kept doing the stupidest things that I would criticize other people on later on in the game.
Yeah. That's good
It
though.
happens.
That's how you learn.
Yeah,
For sure.
a bit of humility goes a long way.
If you don't have humility in a MOBA, you're just gonna just rage and just be a really sad person.
Yeah.
Or yeah, I almost reconsidered if Heroes of the Storm is a MOBA, but of course it's a MOBA. Cool. I had a pretty solid week of stuff. I built my PC finally. That was fun.
You gonna talk about your Windows 10 debacles?
Oh my gosh. I forgot about that even. I blocked that out. And I finally, I had all the parts and the PC was built and I got the monitor in And first I couldn't get the modder to show up to show the BIOS. So I was like Googling stuff. I was like this is the first thing that I had to do, and everything went wrong. And I was like, I'm trying to enjoy the investigating process. And I finally realized that I had plugged the like DVI cable into the motherboard instead of the graphics card, which is a pretty simple mistake. And then once I fixed that, I was trying to boot from a drive that I had created that from my Mac, so that was supposed to be for what is it called when you dual? What's it called on a Mac?
Dual
Boot
boot?
camp?
Boot camp. Yeah.
Oh.
So it was a boot camp drive to create a Windows partition on the Mac, but I was like, it should work on the PC, and it wasn't working. And then finally, after like trying to download it on my work computer, and my internet was being really slow, it took me like 5 hours. I finally just booted it from the Bootstrap drive, but under different settings, and that worked. And I got it working. So it was really cool. It was a ton of fun putting everything together, and
Have you done any gaming on it yet?
I played like 8 games of League already, and it's so much fun. It's just
Oh, nice.
it's just like I just love the setup. I don't know. I think that I know me and Patrick especially are like very aesthetic. Like we like our like I love my black desk with my black mouse pad and black computer and black monitor and black speakers and black lamp and black
Black is the new
microphone. It's just
Right.
everything is so sleek, and my black chair, everything is so sleek, and everything runs so quickly. And Windows 10, I'm really pleased with. I think that like that new computer smell is just intoxicating. Like it just runs so much faster than any other computer, and it's like an interface that you have to learn is exciting. I don't know.
I gotta say, Ben,
I
I
love
am jealous of
computers.
that chair.
Dude,
This looks like a nice chair.
this chair is ballin'. It's the same chairs that they have at the
At
Battle
Battle
Ember.
Ember.
Yeah. I did not go cheap on this chair. This is a pretty sick chair. So yeah, that was the PC, and I'm looking forward to playing games other than League, so I can actually.
Yeah, I want to see you play something graphics intensive on there.
Yeah, the next game I'm gonna play is XCOM, and then Her Story and Gone Home. So none of these games
Master
are.
Race.
None of these games are graphics intensive. No, I'm so excited. It's fun to mess around with. I watched like 5 episodes of Orange is the New Black this week.
Nice.
It's a good show, man.
Oh, it's the best. I don't.
It's good.
You and Nick finished it forever ago, and
I
we're
finished it the first week it came out.
yeah.
First weekend it came out. Remember?
I do
I
remember.
was super shitty about it. But it was a great show. But I was just.
Well, I feel super shitty for waiting because it's a show that has evolved in that it's not necessarily about the Piper, the girl that went to prison that kind of started the show. Each episode they do kind of a character profile on how each girl ended up there. And I thought they had done that for all the characters that you cared about in the second season, like all the quote unquote main characters, but it keeps going. Like they keep introducing new backstories and keep bringing in new side characters, and they're all delightful. They do it so well. It's so different because the show is already unique, taking place in a women's prison, but to have like 40 engaging female leads and like to intertwine comedy and really serious social themes at the same time. Honestly, it's like, especially after being totally let down by True Detective's finale, I was crushed by that finale. It was really, really poor. Orange is the New Black is my new, like, on the power rankings, it's number 1 right now. It was really good. I almost beat Limbo. I'm like 80% through it. That was a PS Plus free game this month, and
That's the puzzle game, right?
it's like
Sort of, kind of.
yeah,
Like everything's black.
everything
a
is
platformer,
It's a
I guess.
2D
Yeah.
puzzle platformer, which I hate. Like I just get bored by those. And I turned on my PS4 to play Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. I was not trying to play Limbo, and I forgot to download it, and it had like 24 minutes to download. And I was like, shit. Like, well, I'll play it in 24 minutes, so I'll just play Limbo while I'm waiting. And then like 2.5 hours later, I was like, wow. I mean,
Nice.
I knew Limbo was well liked, and honestly, I wasn't super engaged with the 2D puzzles. Like, that's fine. To me, it's kind of like going through the motions with those types of puzzles. Like, you mess up twice, and then you finally see it, and then you do it. but that game, it's all black. There's got like these horror elements, like there's
Like the
these
spider?
yeah, there's these spiders that like jab you, and like there's these other beings in the world that like you'll pan to the next screen and they'll like scurry away. And I'm really excited to find out what the payoff is because it is creepy as fuck, and I like can't wait to find out like what it all means. The art style is like 100% of the appeal of that game, and I'm enjoying it a lot.
Now, Limbo's an older game, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
2009?
yeah, it was like an
Maybe.
Xbox Live arcade game.
Yeah.
So it's been around for a long time. I'm pretty sure it's on like every platform. I think they
Yeah.
even have it for like
Mobile.
mobile. Yeah. So I mean, just another great PS Plus game. They're bringing out awesome stuff for that.
Yeah, don't forget to vote for Grow Home on the PlayStation Plus
It
next
was
month.
it was one of those presidential things where I was like, my vote won't matter. Like I figure everyone's voting for Grow Home, right?
Yeah,
I hope-
love. I watched all the trailers to all three of them. I was like, Grow Home's gonna be the winner here.
Yeah, let me know
gotta
if it's
be.
like, do they show you what the voting is like at any given
Yeah, they
moment?
show you the standings.
Okay, well,
What's what are the current?
they're
It's
not.
like
There's
Zombie Vikings, Grow Home, and I don't even know what the other one is.
I think Grow Home's the only interesting one, or
I
the
think-
only the clear winner.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Let me know if it gets tight, then I'll vote.
Okay.
I also I was on Twitch this morning and I was like looking through the top channels, and it's always like League, Counter Strike, Dota, Hearthstone, and this one Ark Survival Evolved stream was like number 4 at like 20,000 people or something.
yeah. I watch a Let's Player play that game. Looks really interesting.
Oh my gosh, have you guys ever played a survival game like DayZ or H1N1Z1?
Does Minecraft count? Nah.
Yeah, a little bit.
That actually does count though.
I honestly think these games are all inspired by Minecraft, like in the way that fun of just being put in a place with, and you gotta
Yeah.
like use your wits. That was Minecraft was like came way before all these kind of survival clones. But H1Z1 is unique because there's dinosaurs. Fuck yeah.
I mean, Ark is.
Oh yeah, sorry. Ark Survival Evolved is like a new one with dinosaurs. And so I turned on this stream, and the makers of the game have created a Hunger Games game mode. So there's this huge forest with a giant dome force field, and there's a 2-hour timer, and in like the 2 hours the dome shrinks like steadily until it's like all the way at the center, and there's like only I guess a little bit of space, and then a true winner gets announced. But like they even did it down to there's like 10 teams of 2, so they're imitating the districts, or 13 teams of 2 or whatever it is. And then when someone dies, like a cannon goes off, and in the sky of the game they show the player profile.
Yeah.
And they're like hunting dinosaurs, and then every 30 minutes there's events, so they'll drop like the carnivore drop, and they'll just drop T-Rexes all over the place, and you have to like run. It like flushes people out of their hiding spots. Or they'll do a locator in 30 minutes, and there's a giant beam up where so then everyone knows where everyone is, so if you're hiding, you might get screwed. And like it was so enthralling to watch. Like they had a shoutcaster, so he was moving around the map. He's like, oh, Team Bible Thump is like trying to tame these 14 velociraptors. Oh, this guy is waiting for this drop. Like, it was tense, and I really liked the Hunger Games game mode is the perfect
spin on it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the perfect survival game accessory. So I don't know if I'll ever get it, but like that was the closest I've come to like really wanting to play a survival game.
Yeah, I mean it's early access right now, so they're still improving on it.
It
But
looked
it seems pretty stable.
it was pretty buggy, but obviously
Okay.
it was pretty stable. Like
Yeah.
you're right, and it's buggy because like you have to be stable to pull off something like that.
Right. I
Yeah.
get that's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
even with the Let's Player I watch, like trees are like bending at 90 degrees and stuff.
Yeah,
They're like at a distance, but
still
it's
full
not.
blown.
It's not broken.
It's
Broken.
playable for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was like really fun. I was supposed to like go do an errand, and I just sat there. I was like I want to see who wins.
Yeah.
And the winner had like a Stenosaurus that you train these dinosaurs and they like will fight for you, and he just had like this big bad thing, and all the other people were trying to shoot him down with like a crossbow, and he was just like rushing people and eating them with his Stenosaurus. It was fantastic. It was awesome. So yeah.
Very cool.
That's what I did this week. Oh, we got no news this week, guys. I guess that's a good thing because we talked for a while about the other stuff, and I mean it's post Gamescom, so it's gonna be fairly quiet.
What's the next event we're waiting on?
Christmas. 19 weeks.
When is BlizzCon?
No, there's TGS, BlizzCon,
PSX.
PSX.
I'm psyched for BlizzCon just because I want more Overwatch info. Like, I'm craving Overwatch information.
It popped up on the Battle. I mean, I haven't opened up Battle.net.
There is a tab for it now.
There's a tab for it now, so.
I am hoping that like the first thing they announce at BlizzCon is Legacy of the Void is out right now. Because I feel like if they have to announce a release date for Legacy of the Void at BlizzCon, it's going to be 2016, which is not supposed to be 2016. I don't know.
Are you going to pick that up?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Did you pick up the second expansion?
No, I never did. And I'm picking it up
Part of the Swarm.
strictly because I have friends that are really into it. Like the people that I go LAN with, when that comes out, they're not going to want to play League. They're going to want to play StarCraft, and I like StarCraft, so I'll pick it up.
I'm excited for Artanis being a hero
In StarCraft?
in Heroes of the Storm.
Oh, okay. Artanis is the red guy. Who's Artanis?
Dual beams. He's one of the heroes. I don't remember, actually. I just know that he's got 2 beam swords, and that's all that matters.
Oh, yeah. I like never know the heroes because that's always single player, and I'm not as like people. StarCraft is kind of like Call of Duty in that a lot of people just pick it up for the multiplayer.
Yeah, not many people pay attention. I mean, I love the story just because it's interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
So
if you're at all in touch with Blizzard lore, like the stories are must know. Cool. All right. Well, what is your topic this week, Patrick?
My topic is about what's something that you've taught yourself that you guys are really proud of.
Tying my shoes.
yeah,
Tying your shoes. Well, that's not bad. That's good. So just like where did the inspiration come from? Like why did you start?
I thought of a really funny, another funny one is the ability to microwave burrito so that it's not so hot that you can't hold it in your hands, but it's not so cold that
it's still frozen.
Yeah.
Oh god, the true balance.
Yeah, that was like when I achieved that. But then I moved and got a new microwave, and I had to just start over.
You had to start from scratch.
It's a learning process
It
again.
was devastating.
Oh god. And just like how it affects your daily life today. And like where do you want to take it?
I think cooking. Like
Yeah. You do Snapchat your cooking a lot.
Yeah, and my coworkers make fun of me so much. They're like, "Oh, did you make another salad?" But no, I'm kind of a health nut, and I find that like I never cooked that much because cooking is hard because you want to eat now. Like I don't want to eat in an hour when I get home. I want to eat right now. So I found myself in college just like hard boiling eggs and like making a big vat of chili on Sunday and eating it throughout the week. And I've kind of found ways as I've like taught myself more about cooking to like cook for one person and cook and would prepare and shop at Costco and shop at Publix to make sure that like overnight I'll like soak walnuts and chia seeds and I'll like make sure that I bought the correct pan to make like a chicken dish. So I like that. That's something that I'm really proud of, and that
It's a lot of planning.
yeah, it's a lot of
Steering all
planning,
that.
and I want to take it because like I always love my favorite part of like childhood was like it's obviously spending time with family and spending time with friends is something that means a lot, and like cooking was important to me because I know it's something that whoever I meet in the future and any time that I spend with my family in the future is going to be something that we all have in common. So I hope to take it like to a place, where I can cook with a significant other, or I can cook for like when my like extended family has a Thanksgiving, I can take the mantle and make the stuffing. So yeah, that's one for me. That and the
Nice.
burrito, of course.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the story you prefaced it with the burrito was very fitting.
Yes.
Uh,
The
Microwave
transformation.
burritos to planning to cook for the whole family.
Yeah, make a
I mean, I'll say yesterday, the first time, Christian, I cooked. I had to Google it here. Caldereta.
Oh yeah, all right.
Cooked that yesterday. It's basically Filipino beef stew.
Yep.
nice.
But I don't really cook a lot, so I underestimated everything.
What does that
like,
mean?
Just like, okay, so I had like 3 pounds of beef, and so the recipe I found was for a pound and a half, and so I was like, okay, I just need to double everything.
3 pounds would be a pound and a half. Okay.
And so I had to double all the other ingredients like potatoes, carrots, and stuff. But I didn't really account for like how big of a pot we had. So it was like to the very top, and I was just like, if I had cooked, this is why like cooking for is such a great learning experience, because like now I'll never make that mistake again.
Yeah,
Like I underestimated everything.
that's funny.
That's my cooking story.
So you really underestimated the size of the pan you would need.
Yeah, but like I didn't conceptualize how much space like for tomatoes,
Yeah.
for potatoes, and if, like putting all that together with a pound or 3 pounds of beef. It's just like that idea wasn't in my head, you know. I
But
have
it sounds delicious.
no reference
Yeah.
scale. I have no banana for scale.
I can't wait to like have a house so I can have a garden and a real kitchen. Like a steam, like a I guess a slow cooker or a fryer or or like a food processor. These aren't things that I want in my tiny 1-bedroom apartment. But when you have a
Yeah.
house, you're just like, fuck it. Like, I'll just put it in this cupboard.
Fuck it, cook it,
Hug
dinner.
him, chug him, football.
Football.
Which is starting.
Oh yes, this is gonna. We're gonna turn this into a football podcast.
Oh
Please
god.
no.
I got season tickets to Tech this year. I'm excited. Have you ever taught yourself something, Christian?
Motivation probably is the biggest one. Like I think right up until I hit college, I wasn't really motivated to do anything.
I have here's the $1 million question. How did you motivate yourself to become motivated?
See now, yeah, exactly. It becomes an entire psychological paradoxical thing.
The
where
chicken
it's
or the egg?
How do you get to that point? But I don't know. I guess it was just kind of over time I realized that I wasn't happy with where I was at that point in life.
Was your
And
burrito too hot?
It was. It was.
Or was it too cold? And you
I'm
needed to heat the burrito up.
But I think the biggest way I can imagine is that I actually motivated myself to just start going to the gym, like, consistently. I would have, when I first started going out, it would probably be like, I could probably skip going to the gym today. But now, most of the days, most weeks, if I don't go, like, 4 times a week, I feel horrible.
Yeah. Well,
Like
that's
a bad
It's
person.
the habit.
The gym is weird because the gym has a very specific hump that, like, it's kind of like a, I don't know, I'm not gonna compare it to like a drug, but if you drop the gym for, I don't know, a month, it is so much harder to go back than if you dropped it for like 2 days.
Yeah.
And like the longer you spend without a routine with the gym, the harder it is to get back in the gym. And then the same thing, the longer you spend at the gym, like the weirder it feels not to be going to the gym.
Yep.
But yeah, that
It's
takes
definitely that habit building.
Yeah, and
Like,
just
and that goes 2 ways. Like, if you don't go to the gym, then you're making a habit of something else, and then you're
And
not
it's
only
weird,
breaking
though.
that habit, you're like not
and it's discipline
It's
too,
weird
though.
how much that affects you. Like I started going to the gym, and as soon as I started going frequently, and I had that as part of my schedule, where when it got to the point where if I didn't go for more than like 3 days, I would feel absolutely terrible. I started doing other things in my life, like cutting out all of the really horrible sugary things like soda. Because I was on an anti-soda kick before, but I mean, I never had, it was always like, well, today's the day where I can, we're going out to eat, I can probably just go ahead and get soda. But nowadays it's like, I just don't want to, because it feels weird drinking soda, or disgusting. And it just, I have more energy, I feel a lot better. It's definitely different.
That's good. That's good to hear, man.
Yeah, I can definitely appreciate that. I've always like, it hasn't been even hard to motivate myself to go to the gym for like a lot of my life because as long as you one time get a taste of why you need it, then like that motivation kind of takes care of itself because you kind of miss that stuff. I wish
Hmm.
that I could have said like there's a lot of things that I wanted to teach myself and failed. That's like the first thing I think of when someone asks me what I taught myself because there's so many like programming. Like Christian's the only real like master coder here, but I mean I was at lunch with a friend last week, Alex actually, Patrick, and like we
Alex.
font.
Oh, Flaunt. Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, and like we speculated kind of what it would take to be in the game industry, and there was like a time when, yeah, like I thought deeply about it. I was like, I am a smart person with motivation. I have skills. Why can't I teach myself the skills I need for that type of job? And like, it's weird how we kind of go through life and discover like what we find is worth pursuing. Like something like drawing. Like
Hmm.
Patrick draws. He went through so many like and guitar. Those are two things I would love to be good at. Like I
Hmm.
love to see Patrick's drawing and be like, that looks fun. I'm gonna draw that. I'm gonna
Yeah.
teach myself how to draw that. Or like my friend plays in a band. I want to teach myself how to play guitar. And I can't really put a finger on like why I've overcome certain obstacles and why I haven't others. I guess it's just what gels with certain people. But I mean that is why we're proud of the things we do teach ourselves because there are other things that don't quite go the same way.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a measure of like the other stuff you didn't learn, but because like when you're talking about like you wanted to draw or you wanted to play guitar, like I want to cook, and like you're cooking and like I see you're cooking as like, dude, I wish I could do that, but I don't know, because it's
Yeah.
not. I don't justify it by saying like, oh well, I draw, so that's why I don't cook. But it's not. It's always in the back of your head, like, oh man, that guy's going to the gym. That he's doing this, this, and this, and that's what he values. And versus I'm doing this and this and this because that's what I value.
Yeah,
But I mean,
it's
it's
never
always
black and white for sure, right?
exactly, exactly. Um,
Let's
but
all cook and work out together
yeah,
and draw. Let's
yeah,
draw us ourselves cooking and working
I can do that.
out.
I can do that.
I can't. No, no, just all right. Let's jump to Christian's topic.
All right. So I guess today I just wanted to focus on it since it's been such a big part of what I've been doing this week is, how you involve people in a hobby and share the happiness. Smiley
Hey,
face.
guess what, guys? I drank too much water and I have to urinate.
My bad.
You guys are gonna vamp while I go.
All right, all right, all right. Okay, so I guess I can. Wait, are we supposed to keep going?
I don't know. What does vamp mean?
I don't know. Um, um,
What do
um,
we do?
um, um. Okay, so I'll quickly talk about something I'm proud of because, so I mean, Christian, I like to draw, right?
Yeah, sure.
Um, and I guess I can talk about the origin story of that. It probably started in high school, when I was really into Rooster Teeth, right? Red versus Blue.
RVB.
Um, but they had a web comic, and I was just absorbing everything Rooster Teeth, and I fell in love with this web comic of theirs, and so I like tried to emulate it with me and my friends. I started with drawing it on paper, like scanning it in, and like painting it on Photoshop with like a mouse, right?
Hmm.
And like, dude, that shit is ratchet, man. Trying to paint with a mouse is like oh my god, it's awful.
Wait, when did you get your first drawing tablet? Was that
2011 was when
so
I
it was
bought
college?
the
Okay.
bamboo Cintiq, yeah.
Yeah.
But before then, I was all about just like scanning stuff in that I drew and like coloring it in paint.
Yeah, because I knew you drew things, but it never really hit me how serious you were about it until I realized you pick up a tablet.
Yeah, and I hate that that's the what's it called? The defining factor. Oh, he spent money on it, so he is serious. But I mean that is sometimes the way it is. Like when I tell people how much my Cintiq was, they're just like, "What?"
You vote with your wallet.
Exactly. But and so that's and from there I've just fell in love with digital art, and then I've just been trying to take it as far as I can. I try to get better every day. I don't draw every day, but I like to absorb, save reference pictures, follow new artists,
You know,
all
this
that.
also counts as that hobby. I mean, to be honest, because
Right,
you share that quite a bit. I mean,
and I was definitely going to segue, and I'll segue that into now. I both love and I'm very, very shy about sharing my art with people because I don't know, it just gets me. I feel all weird. Like people say, "Oh man, you draw so good," and you're just like, "What are you supposed to say?" You're just like, "Thank you,"
You just
and
do the jerk off motion. Be like,
yeah.
fuck yeah, I do.
Oh my god! Or like the South Park with the Comcast thing. You guys know what I'm talking
I
about?
don't know that episode.
There's like when you're complaining to Comcast, and he's like, "Oh, that would be really inconvenient for you, wouldn't it?" He's just like,
Oh yeah.
were they supposed to be like hypnotizing? No,
"I don't think it was supposed to be hypnotizing."
My Steam avatar is still the bear logo from Banana
Oh, yeah,
Scoop.
banana
It's
scooping.
immortalized caricature.
Yes, I
Great.
remember when we were trying to play Team Fortress. We were trying to make that like our
Oh,
like
our
that poster you can spray.
your
yeah,
tag,
Yeah,
your
and
graffiti tag.
yeah. People get really. Oh man, those tags get bad.
We got it to work though.
we did.
Oh no, it's not that. It's like people
We
Oh,
were
posting
yeah.
specific tags.
It's really just an excuse to put porn in, multi-
Yeah, really.
in a multiplayer shooter.
But it's hilarious because
Not
it
that the
works as a
internet is
legitimate
black.
strategy. I don't know if you guys have realized that, but it does. People do stop and they look at what you've tagged.
Yeah,
makes sense. It makes sense.
that works. I was gonna say, like, I think involving people in your hobby is a lot of it is compromise. Like, cause I mean, everyone, like, life is kind of about finding. That's too philosophical. A lot of life is about finding common ground with other people and like making memories or whatever. But like everybody's different. Like everyone, like when a lot of people understand like sitting around the TV with your family and having to compromise on what TV show you're gonna watch. So it's like we all like TV, but we're like involving each other by like trying to find common ground. Because when you first noted this topic, one of the things that you noted was gaming, and like gaming is kind of weird for me because I would say it's one of those things that I'm interested in that I try like very hard not to involve other people in for whatever reason. Just I don't want to like. I guess it seems like with gaming, people have these preconceptions. So
About what gaming is?
yeah, about what gaming
Yeah.
is, and like it's really not worth. It's either worth just like like meeting people that already like it and know what it's about, or just keeping it separate from the people that are not like that. Because I just don't know that it's ever worth the effort to kind of try to articulate what you like about gaming. Or maybe I'm like a bad example because like I had like my ex-girlfriend like hated gaming, and anytime I try to like compromise and show her like, hey, it's not what you think it is, or hey, this might be something we would like, it was kind of like that just didn't fly at all. So I don't think that that's always going to be permanent. But like I really would only involve someone in a hobby if like they were actively trying to find out more about it from me.
No, I totally agree.
I can agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
I found like my friend found out I like to draw, and I don't introduce myself. Hi, I'm Patrick. I'm an engineer, but I like to draw. Like when
Unless
people
it's your
find
Twitter
out-
profile.
This
Unless it's social media.
but like
don't,
as soon
unless
as
I
they
do.
hear that I like to draw and they express interest, then I'll show them what I've done, and I'll be more than happy to do it. But it's not something that I like to throw in people's face, or like even if someone says oh yeah, we need a new logo, I don't like butt in and say, oh, I'll draw it for you, because I don't mean to like remind everyone, oh, I draw, guys, I draw, I want to talk about it, I draw.
Check out our podcast logo.
Yeah, I mean, and exactly. Like I haven't plugged that once, but I wasn't going to until you ever brought it up.
What's a hobby that you want to learn more about and you wish that you knew someone who is more engaged in it? Or do you just got it down on fleek? Okay.
Why don't you start, Ben?
I got a couple. My coworkers are really into mountain biking. So I've been like trying to ask them questions about it at lunch, and maybe one day if I decide that it wouldn't break my back, I will give it a go. Things like yoga, robotics, theater, like going to plays and musicals.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about those, but it'd be cool to meet someone that like just that was a playwright. Like what if like a Craigslist roommate is a playwright and like they write plays? I think that's kind of why I don't know where I'm going with this, but it's cool that like the give and take piece of it.
I think it's a little daunting, actually, in some aspects of that. Like, I guess it depends on the hobby. You brought up robotics, and I do have a coworker at this point who is working with another coworker to try and build a robot. And this person is actually a Georgia Tech graduate. Anyway,
I believe it.
She developed and created this algorithm for facial recognition in like 2 hours while we were on break. And yeah, so she coded that from scratch.
Well, I taught myself how to microwave a burrito, so
right. Yeah. And it's just like, you know, I would love to get into robotics, and that would be so interesting. And then seeing somebody who can do that and then comparing it to my own programming skill is kind of like, well.
So
I feel the same with animators. Even just like Flash animators. Obviously, there's like Pixar animators, but Flash animators that are like live and breathe through the internet. It's just seeing them work, and I like watch their streams, and it's like it looks so fluid to them, and it's like I want to take the dive, but you know how it is learning a whole new program and learning just like all the shortcuts. Like it took me forever to learn all the shortcuts in Photoshop and Manga Studio. Just like, oh my god, tacking on animation and keyframes and all that shit is just like, oh my god.
Particularly kills me about that Flash animation stuff is like the people who do like the really insane stick figure fights. Mm-hmm. And I'm assuming that's done in Flash for one reason or another.
I'm sure it can be. Yeah, I'm sure.
But it's insane to me how they make these stick fights look so appealing to watch.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that really you're just watching two or like 20 stick people fighting.
Did you guys?
I mean, it's as fluid as it is.
Did you guys see the Live Play documentary that Riot put out like a week ago?
I have not.
No, Alex told me to go watch it.
Oh god, it
goes really good.
It's a little long, but it is amazing. It's this they profile 4 different people and how their lives were like around the world impacted by League of Legends. So they have one NA pro, they have one cosplayer in I think she's in Europe. They have a guy that like escaped the civil unrest in Egypt like by playing League of Legends.
Because he's a professional? Or?
No, these are just like normal people, I guess. So the cosplayer is someone who makes League of Legends cosplay, and that's like her business. This guy used League of Legends. He's just a regular Joe who wanted to like he would just play it so that like he could be distracted from like the gunfights.
When you say escape, I thought you meant like refugee status.
Oh no.
Yeah, escapism.
Yeah, and then the last guy was in Iceland, and he was like a longshore. I don't know what longshore means, but I think he was a longshore fisherman, and he would go out for 3 weeks on the boat and fish, and then the 4-day break he got in between. He would play League of Legends, and he's using it because he wants to become a game designer, and he thinks it's like the most interesting game. And these are all like these. It was 3 like regular people and an LCS pro, and kind of the different ways that League like impacted people's lives. But it is like really well done from a professional standpoint. Oh, and there was one more guy. This is what reminded me of it. He built a Baron Nashor robot. Because he's just like a tinkerer, and he was inspired by like League, and he makes robots. And he just made this huge animatronic, like, custom Baron Nashor that he brings to this makers conference. And it's like, the kids are like, oh, this is amazing. It was really cool. I'd recommend it.
Oh, that's
awesome.
Neat.
Yeah, I'm gonna
like,
check that out.
Reddit would say, like, show this to someone who doesn't understand why you play this game. And it's, like, really inspiring.
Oh, I was just about to say they should, like, just put it on Netflix. Mm-hmm. And, like, that would reach, even just, like, you know, people who are on Netflix. Sometimes they just choose a documentary.
I would put it in the top like 5% of Netflix documentaries in terms of quality. Like
there is another good one out there that I just recently watched, and this is just because I'm a huge fan, but Magic Behind the Words is an unofficial biography, I guess, about J.K. Rowling.
Oh wow, that sounds
So
awesome.
Yeah.
it tells you her story in like this weird kind of movie-esque format where you have somebody playing her and going through the motions of her life.
So it's
So
like a biopic, not like a
yeah,
documentary. Okay.
yeah. And
Huh.
it goes through her life and how she, gets the inspiration for certain things in the Harry Potter novels and how she felt the first time she was ever asked to do a like an official read of the story in a bookstore.
Yeah.
So it was just
Must
really
be
cool to
highly
watch that.
emotional.
Yeah. I mean,
Mhm.
she's like, I mean, wasn't she? I mean, she was like homeless, I think, for
She
a
was a
while.
single mom living on welfare.
Yeah. And like the first person that read Harry Potter too, I think like trashed it. Like she almost gave up because like the first publisher was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Yeah, she's. I mean, Harry Potter. I even added that to the topic bank today because, like, on another podcast they were talking about what are. So finish this sentence. How could someone not like blank? That was like one of their topics.
hmm
And one of the things that someone said was Harry Potter, and then just the discussion that followed was like, yeah, this. It's like pretty astounding how good Harry Potter is, and kind
Yeah.
of like why is it so good, and why does it connect with so many people, and
Right.
how have they handled the movies and stuff like that.
Now I'm thinking of other things.
So the things they
Like
said
Disney?
were
Did I say Disney?
yes. One
Okay.
person's thing was Disneyland, like the parks, which was
Oh, okay.
that was the most controversial because a lot of people don't like the parks. That's actually a really good segue. But
Yeah.
and then
Nailed it.
the other one was Seinfeld, and then another one was video games. So it's like people should think of video games like they think of music and movies. Like you
Yeah,
know,
they're a hobby, just
yeah,
like any other.
well, not even a hobby.
It's a platform or a media.
It's just something that everyone likes too.
Mhm.
Like asking someone if they like music is like asking if they like to breathe. Like
Right.
everyone likes movies and music, but maybe they don't like country or they don't like rap or they
There's a
don't
Right.
specific brand.
they don't
That's
like
the analogy I like to use for anime because it's a medium. It's not like
Yeah.
it's not exactly like a brand. Not a brand. It's not a God, what's the word?
genre.
Genre. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. So that's the way that we think about it, but that's definitely not the way that it's perceived yet, like in terms of widespread like meaning. So
Get
those are the
there.
four answers. But yeah, speaking of Disneyland, we're gonna do a callback segue. My topic this week is amusement and theme parks. That was kind of also inspired by that podcast I listened to, and these are something that, like, I guess they're kind of geek related. Like a lot of times they have the Batman at Six Flags, they have the Superman.
Yeah.
They're very fantastical. They're about rides. They're about bullshit, mini games, funnel cakes.
Hey man, don't knock that Buzz Lightyear ride, bro.
No, oh, I love the Buzz Lightyear ride. I love that ride. No, I was knocking the like. Sometimes they'll have like those like at the fair when they had the
Yeah.
like throw the ring on the
Oh, I see.
the
Those,
glass
the carnival games.
the
kind of.
carnival games. Yeah,
Mhm.
because I know Six Flags has some of those. So yeah, like, were you guys a fan as kids or even now?
I am.
Um,
I like
yeah,
rides.
for sure. I mean, for even now, and I see you have that thing there tagged. Are they for adults? And yes,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
I agree.
Even parks like Disneyland or Universal. Well, Universal is actually more adult oriented, I feel. But even Disney is just, a place where you can let loose and enjoy your day. I mean, it's really cool walking through Disney World.
I'm the
Yeah.
guy that's like, why is it 105 degrees and why does everything cost $14 for a bottle of water?
That's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess the trick there is to just bring your own water because they have no issues with you bringing your own.
Mm.
As far as drinks are concerned, I think they have an issue with food. But as far as bringing your own drinks is concerned, I would always bring my own water.
Yeah.
Like my thing was that like I've never been a rides guy. I don't know if I had like a traumatic experience as a kid or if I'm just a wuss. I've never liked roller coasters. I've always been scared of heights. I don't like enjoy rides like the scramblers or whatever.
Mhm.
So as a kid, I appreciated Disney because Disney has a lot of kind of slower, kind of less like it's not like Universal or Six Flags. Like we don't have any scream machines. We have kind of a little bit more.
Ben was a teacup guy.
Oh yeah, I was a teacup. I was a Small World guy.
Yeah.
I was
It's such an iconic ride, though.
I'm just gonna ride the Small World while you guys ride Space Mountain. I did
Oh, you
ride.
don't like Space
I
Mountain?
did
That's
do
one of
Space.
the ones.
I can do
That-
Space
that is.
Mountain.
Space Mountain's pretty tame.
Yeah, because I can't
And
see
fun.
how high I am, so it doesn't bother me.
So the
Yeah.
Hulk is definitely not for Ben.
See, yeah, no, I'm like, I'm out. So then I got older, and I did go back to Disney probably like sophomore year of college, and it felt fake. Like I was like, this is just a giant, kind of like in the way that I was kind of annoyed by the MomoCon in terms of like how one of the main features of the con was supposed to be the show floor. I was like, this is like a system designed to get me to spend a lot of money, which is super cynical. I don't think
That is cynical.
Yeah.
Those people work really hard to keep it immersive.
Yeah,
Like the cast members,
yeah.
they like work really hard.
God forbid
man.
if you
They
call them
work
employees.
I'm pretty sure they get
super
like
hard.
abused or whatever. Like they're not allowed to do stuff. Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
like a super curmudgeonly. Like I don't like rides, and I don't. Honestly, the best part is the turkey leg at Epcot. I do appreciate a good turkey leg, but
You mean like huge size
Yeah.
of your thigh turkey
yeah,
legs? Yeah.
like I'm all about the food. But I guess I've never been a rides guy. I don't know.
It
I have
does
to
take a
I
lot
have
of the
to-
fun out of it.
Yeah, like if you don't like the roller coasters, then all you have left are like,
The games that are expensive. and
yeah,
I have to go and this is still spending money, but I have to go the opposite way of Ben because I actually just reinvigorated my want to go back to Universal ever since your sister made that post, Ian,
Which one?
about interactive wands at Harry Potter World.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So I've never been to Universal.
It's a lot of fun.
Do you think that that is a very different thing than because Six Flags to me, I don't even feel safe like on a ride at Six Flags.
Universal's like Six Flags, except
Okay.
it's got more themes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just, even if you don't honestly ride any of the rides, there are a lot of cool things to see at, both parks. But I think Universal kind of has a lot more other things too. Like Universal Studios part of the park has a lot more tame things. They have magic shows that go on in particular places.
I do like magic shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
A lot.
they have a lot of cool things that you don't actually have to, like be in a roller coaster seat for. But I think, going back to my topic, it's just, like, I've been one of the biggest fans of Harry Potter for a long time. Like, I would go back and reread all of the books and, still find myself absolutely enthralled every time I get to certain parts.
Did
Like,
you
it
ever-
doesn't ever get old for me.
Did you ever do that like, what was that kind of website game thing like Neverworld or
There is a Harry
Pottermore?
Potter.
Pottermore?
Pottermore.
What,
I did sign up for that.
What was that?
It was just more of an outlet for J.K. Rowling to release more information concerning the universe of Harry Potter.
She
I
is.
was like signing up for like your class and shit.
Yeah, there are cool things like that where you can sign up for your own classes at Hogwarts. You can, you get your wand, you go through Diagon Alley, and you go through the experience, like a Hogwarts experience. And it's definitely catered more towards kids, but I'm in it more for the lore.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, any bit of information we can get about anything that goes on in Harry Potter is definitely really cool to me.
Yeah, and she's writing another book in the Potter universe. Right?
She's making another movie.
Oh, she's making another
The
movie too.
Fantastical Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Oh, I remember when she
I think
wrote that
Colin
book.
Farrell just got confirmed to sign on for that.
Nice. Harry Potter, I feel like I have a unique perspective on Harry Potter because I read it. I did not. I read the first 3 books. My mom read them to me actually when I was in like first grade or whatever, and I just stopped. Like I don't, for whatever reason, I stopped. I didn't like consider myself a Harry Potter fan, and then like junior year in college, just like just had a really good friend that said that you should read them because I'm obsessed with them. So I was like, oh, I'll give it a go. Like we have all the books at home, so I read them from 1 to 7 as like adult, and that series transforms tremendously from the first book to the last book because I remember
evolves.
reading the first 3
Yeah.
books, and the first 3 books are very simple. They're amazing, but they're written. You can tell they're written.
They're children's stories.
They're children's stories, which are still amazing, but the like last 2 books are not children's stories anymore. Like
No.
like you can read them as a child, but those are dark, heavy, like tales.
Right.
So it's
Yeah,
interesting.
no one big died until like the third book, right?
Fourth,
Didn't Sirius die the third book?
No, he
Fifth.
didn't
No, that's when
die.
he got introduced. That's right. He already
Yeah.
died in
Died
the
in the
fifth book.
I think it was an interesting the way she wrote it was very, very intriguing to me because when you first read it as a kid starting out, you start out with the exact same kind of perspective as a first year boarding the Hogwarts Express, right?
I want
So
to.
you grow up and you grow up with these books.
Yeah.
And it was just interesting, I guess, for Ian and I, because we read them as they came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was interesting getting that perspective of we grew up with these books and, you know, we kind of were in that field to have that perspective when it changed and got darker and darker. We grew older. So it was really cool.
I think that was the case for most of the people as well.
In our generation.
Yeah, in our generation. I can't, like, there's something about that world that, like, just is, you want to be in it so badly. I
Yeah.
don't, like, I read Aragon, and I've read Merlin and Redwall and Game of Thrones, and I love all those series, but Harry Potter, I want to be there so much. Like, I want the weird candies, and I want to decide which house I'm going. Remember how much fun it was to like argue with your family over which house that you'd be in or whatever and stuff like that.
And that's part of the immersion that I feel that the Harry Potter part of Universal gives you, and why as an adult I would absolutely gladly go back now that I figured out they have freaking interactive wands. Mm-hmm. Because apparently you could pick up a wand at the Harry Potter world and you can go to specific places and cast certain spells and interact with the environment there.
That sounds terrible to me.
I'm sorry.
That doesn't sound fun at all.
Really, that sounds so
That sounds
awesome. to
so
me.
cheesy. That's funny. And then, what's your favorite? Okay, so what is your guys' favorite theme park?
Definitely Universal.
Don't say SeaWorld, because save the whales.
Yeah, I mean, I really like Magic Kingdom. It's hard to beat Magic Kingdom at Disney.
If I had to choose, I would say a water park. We didn't talk about that, but I love water parks.
Is the zoo also a viable option?
Now we're getting crazy. If we're counting the zoo, then we're counting. No, I got nothing
The
funny.
aquarium.
I got nothing
Aquariums,
funny.
yeah.
Yeah, sure.
The World of Coke.
I do love the aquarium.
But the Magic Kingdom is the quintessential for me.
Yeah,
It's
it
hard
is.
to beat Magic
I
Kingdom.
think that, I mean, when it comes to theme parks, there isn't one that stands out above everybody else's minds other than the Magic Kingdom, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
Magic
I feel
Kingdom is like, unless there was like you went to Six Flags a whole bunch, but
Yeah, I like Epcot more than Magic Kingdom. I like Animal Kingdom. Magic Kingdom is the most, like, I guess in terms of rides, my favorite ride at Disney is the Mission Space, which is like you feel the G-force and
Simulator?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a space simulator. And then the food in Epcot is a lot better than the food in Magic Kingdom. But Magic Kingdom does have Small World, and the Haunted House is really good.
that one's in Hollywood Studios. Oh, you're talking. Okay, I'm thinking of the haunted. What's the hotel one?
Haunted Mansion?
No, Haunted Mansion is I think in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, it is in Magic
I'm
Kingdom.
thinking of the.
The Psycho thing? Do they have a Psycho?
No, when you're in the hotel and they drop you.
Tower
That
of
one's in
Terror?
MGM. Yeah, that one's in MGM.
Yeah.
That's what I thought at first.
Nice. And then there's, I mean, I'm not super tuned in. Like, there's isn't there a huge park in Ohio with like the fastest roller coaster on the planet? And I don't know.
I haven't paid attention to that. I mean, roller coasters, they're fun, but they're not what I specifically go to a theme park for.
The best part for me, roller coasters are those pictures
At the
Yeah.
end.
they take of you.
You have some
Splash
pretty good
Mountain's always
ones.
one of
I'm
the
pretty
best,
sure
I think.
Patrick is a master of those.
I have a lot of those. I like buy them because I
Yeah.
like to make faces.
I mean, if
Yeah, I mean, you see them posted all over the internet of these people
Yeah.
taking these really intricate pictures. Like, I know there were a whole bunch of people who, like, glued chess pieces to a board, and when they went down, it looked like they were playing a
you
game of
seen
chess.
the one where they're playing Smash Bros?
Yes.
Yeah.
They have like a TV
They have
and
a
they're like
TV.
playing a GameCube and like
in the Giant Bomb Crew, they did Super Mario World on the DS. They tried to do it on a roller coaster to see who could get the furthest.
Yeah.
That was actually a ton of fun.
it's pretty. I'd be so scared to drop it though.
I know.
Unless it's like tied to my wrist, but even then, it would like flail around and shit.
Yeah.
That's sort of making your own fun at an amusement park, which is really cool to me. I always love how original people get with those pictures.
This just
Yeah.
made me really nostalgic for Roller Coaster Tycoon. That game was the shit. All
Where
right.
you would purposefully make it so that it like launched off into space.
Yes. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of The Queue. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Check out new episodes weekly every Monday. We are on the RSS feeds and the interwebs via YouTube. We would love your feedback and opinions wherever we can get them. You can drop us a review on iTunes, which would really help us out. Check out the Fig TV and Free Brunch on YouTube at Fig_TV, at CMonkey2Eyes, and at Free Brunch on Twitter. I'm getting so good at that. Take care, everyone.
Bye,
Peace.
guys.